That's so strange. I just knocked one of my nails off and I can't see where it's gone. There's only so many places it could have gone. Where's it gone? That's bizarre. Right, I'm back. I just accidentally lost a nail, so I found another one. Right, we're moving on to Libra. I did Aries through to Virgo a few hours ago. See there, if you want to catch those signs, they're on the last live that I did. If you click on lives. Okay. Let's get the cards shuffled. Oh, tell you what I'm going to do. Burn a bit more sage. You might be able to hear Mum and Dad talking outside. We just had dinner in the garden, it's lovely. I am now naughty 40 years old, as of Saturday. Celebrated in Amsterdam. So, apologies for the 1 week hiatus, but hi Rodrigo. I was away for the weekend. If you're new to the channel, hi Sam. If you're new to the channel, I'm a full-time high school teacher, so it's pretty hectic at certain periods. Like, had parents' evening till 7 o'clock last week. Then I had to take my nephew to get trainers. There's like an emergency for PE the next day. I applied for a job after that. So without having had a quiet weekend and then a crazy week, I just needed a day off yesterday. The King and the Queen of the Netherlands were outside our hotel because it was VE Day. So that was a really cool surprise. We had a wicked time. Me and my friend, we went to an ice bar. We went on canal cruises. We made street waffles. I've got a certificate in street waffling. So, yeah, it was well good. We got portraits of ourselves done, Rembrandt style and Van Gogh style ones. I got this bracelet off my sister. It's got, because I'm Taurus, it's got a little... It's got a little Taurus symbol on it. And then I've got these off my other friend, Gemma. I've been spoiled. Right, okay, on to you guys. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Libra's highest good. How is Libra feeling in the second week of May 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? So you might be regular, but if you're new, I do a 9-card spread. I get 3 cards for how you're feeling, 3 cards for how your person's feeling, and then 3 cards for the outcome. I'll clarify why they feel the way that they feel. I'll get messages from them and I'll get you some advice from Spirit as well. 3 cards for how you're feeling first of all, then Libra. The Scales of Justice. The 8 of Swords and the Temperance, okay? So the major for Sagittarius with the Temperance. The 8 of Swords is being in a state of mental entrapment. Swords are intrusive thoughts, okay? And when you're surrounded by 8 of them, you can feel like there's no way out. Temperance is all about managing your emotions. So things like anger, sadness, panic. We're trying to temper ourselves, but we're needing to do that because we feel that we're stuck. So I wonder what that's about. It's like you're trying to stay calm. The 8 of Pentacles. So the 8 of Pentacles is a desire for growth and expansion. It's being determined to thrive, whether that means trying new things, like working in a different field, or, you know, moving sideways into something similar, or taking on a course, taking on another trade, starting a business, starting a side hustle. We're investing into a future here with the 8 of Pentacles. It's growth and expansion. 7's looking back at what's already been achieved. 8 is making big moves to secure growth and expansion. Okay, financial growth and expansion. It's investment of time, money and energy. Okay, so next for you, we've got a combination of the Wheel of Fortune upright, always good. The Star, the Ace of Swords. I've just realised I need to turn this a little bit. There we go, it's better. Do you like, I made this in pottery on my first go. The Ace of Swords, major clarity, truth, confession. 5 of Wands reversed, avoiding conflict. Could be inner conflict or external conflict. The Star is healing or wish fulfillment, and the Wheel of Fortune is good luck, okay, from the universe. Now, with the other cards that we've got, and we've got the 8 of Swords with the Temperance, and then growth and expansion with the 8 of Pentacles. It looks like there's some sort of goal that you want, some sort of dream that you want to achieve, and I think this is your time. I think we've got divine timing here. Because we've got the Wheel of Fortune, so we've got good luck from the universe. We've got the Star, which is wish fulfillment. Ace of Swords can be a yes. Five of Wands, sorry, Five of Wands reversed is, it could just be clarity, because it could be a lack of inner conflict. It could be like, I'm very certain, I'm very sure about what I want. Right, let's have a look to see if you're dealing with anyone and how they're feeling. Now, this could be someone that you're currently dealing with, someone that's just on your mind from the past, or it could be someone that you're manifesting in the future. I want to turn the chair because I just feel like my posture's really bad. The Emperor reversed. So the Emperor is the major arcana for Aries. When the Emperor's upright, he's all four kings and he's in control, but he's fair, he's confident, but he's not arrogant. He's an effective communicator, but he's not manipulative. He's caring. The Emperor is assertive, but he's not bossy. You know, he's all things that are good. And then when he's reversed, he can be weak or he can be overbearing. Okay, so I'm not sure which one this is, but we'll have a look at the other cards that come out. Right, so we've got the Magician. Why does my voice keep going? Oh my god, it's so annoying. The Magician reversed with the Five of Pentacles. So this is an Emperor that's fallen. The Emperor's crown has fallen. The Chariot is overturned. Because I'll tell you why. The Magician, when it's upright, has all four aces. He's got all the tools to succeed. The Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles. He's got the money. He's got the ambition. He's got the compassion, the patience, the strategy, you know, the knowledge, the wisdom. This person hasn't got any of those things at the moment, and the main thing that could be in lack, because this is a direct combination, is money. You may not have the Ace of Pentacles. So the Emperor is struggling at the moment. He's feeling displaced by the fact that he's got money issues. Now, when I say the Emperor, it could be a man or a woman, but they're in their more masculine energy. So it's like they're trying to be focused, strategic, straightforward, do what needs to be done for the empire. Feminine energy is more nurturing. It's more concerned with how other people are feeling. Okay, it's less about the greater good and more about each individual person and what's best for them. Ooh, Three of Cups. Now, 3 is a number of community. This could be celebrations, but it can be, in a love reading, it can be third party. So a love triangle. When you have the Two of Cups card, that's two people that each love one another. They've fallen in love and it's mutual. When there's 3 people, that's one too many. So I'm not saying that that's definitely the case, but it could be that. It's an option. Let's get 3 for the outcome. That is quite a clump, isn't it? Let's have a look. Right, I'll read from the back because that's what I always do. We'll go through each card and then it should start to make sense. The High Priestess, first one today. With the High Priestess, it's a sense of having faith in the divine, having faith in us, you know, knowing what's right, following our gut, trusting our gut. Okay, believing. It's a very religious card, very spiritual card. Now that's upright. The Six of Wands, victory, success, celebration, being celebrated, being noticed. It's like when you graduate and you're walking through your town and everyone's cheering and clapping. You know, it's that sense of like, I'm accomplished, I'm successful, I'm worthy, I've made it. Ten of Swords is the end of a cycle of pain, extreme pain. 10 is the most pain anyone can experience. Then the cycle has to end. Okay. Nine of Wands reversed. So this person's dropping the burdens. Okay. If it was upright, there'd be the wounded warrior, and each wand would represent a challenge. But as it stands, they're releasing those burdens. Whatever they were carrying, they're letting it go. You know, they're not going to do it anymore. So we've got triumph, faith, using our intuition to release the burdens. We're not going to keep trying at this anymore. It's been too painful. We've reached the end of a cycle. What else have we got here? The Two of Cups reversed, unrequited love. When the Two of Cups is upright, it's two people that each feel the same about one another. When it's reversed, one person no longer feels the same or never did. The Queen of Cups reversed. So this could be a wash with emotion because she's reversed, or without emotion because she's reversed. Okay. So there could be a lack of empathy or an overwhelm of emotions. We've got the Judgment reversed. So there's a lack of a call to action. Someone's ignoring the call to action. You see the way the trumpet or whatever it is being played, bugle. It's to raise the dead. Somebody needs to take action. And then we've got the Devil reversed. Now the Devil upright is when you are obsessed with someone, you're attached to them, you're addicted to them, you're addicted to some kind of pattern of behaviour or habit. That's being reversed. So we're being released from the Devil. So this is someone that's realising, okay, that the best thing for them is to leave. And that's in the outcome. And that's all one big combination. It's one narrative that's going on. So let's get two more cards for the outcome, because I'm treating that as one card. Yeah, the Three of Swords, heartbreak. Someone's absolutely devastated because they've realised that the other person doesn't love them. You know, they just don't love them the same. Their feelings are not equal for one another. It's not reciprocated, it's unrequited. Four of Cups reversed, becoming open to the idea of having another person, a different person, new, you know, wanting to receive someone that does, lovers that does feel the same, where it's fair, where it's equal, where we're both emotionally invested. Perhaps someone was with this Emperor for money. I don't know. We'll have a look at the issues, but they're down by money. There was 3 people involved. There was unrequited love. And there's utter heartbreak. Let's do some digging. Why is the Emperor reversed? Why has he got the 5 of Pentacles? Dark side. Your dark side keeps you from enjoying the love you have. Don't let it steal your joy. Right, we'll continue to get more answers. Flight plan. Sometimes things fall apart for better things to come. Not sure what this dark side is that this person's got. Trash, that's never come out before. Throwing away, getting rid of, tossing out. The dark side could be depression. If you realise, you know, it's unrequited love, you can get really in your feels, can't you? And like get really down, and something's fallen apart, and the Emperor's just devastated. He knows that it's done. Anything else to clarify this, please? What is going on with this Emperor? It could be third party because we've got trash, things falling apart, dark side, 3 of Cups. You know, the Emperor's feeling weak, he's not upright. We've got heartbreak. I don't think you're involved with the Emperor. I think you're single at the moment, and this is someone that's being manifested in, sorry. Confession. Someone has to tell you something. Someone might have told the Emperor that they've been having an affair. They might have just thought, I'm just going to tell them because I don't want to, you know, betray them. I don't want to keep the secret anymore, feel guilty, or we're going to get found out. They might have just confessed it. People do that sometimes. Clock. Need time. Takes time. In time. Cycles. Time to heal and progress. It's going to take them a while to get over this. Look, they're heartbreaking. Deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, mourning. I like you, someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun, flirting, want to date. In time, they are going to be ready to date again, but this person, in the outcome, they're heartbroken. So, if I ask for a time, and I don't think it's going to be really soon. They could be married, they could have children, they could have elderly parents, they could have a business, they could be high up in whatever they do because they're an Emperor. I'm not going to get a confession from them because I don't think you've met them yet, so it wouldn't make any sense. Let's have a look at the nature of the connection that they're in with this other person that's just ended. Sacrifice. Love may come with sacrifices. Evaluate what you're willing to give up. Well, we mustn't give up on our boundaries or ourselves or like anything that makes us feel secure, sane, fulfilled. We mustn't give up on that. Would it make sense to get messages from them if it's one coming in the future? No, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to get you a timing. When is this Emperor going to come into Libra's life? Okay, so we've got around May and in August. So any time now. Anytime now up until August, you're going to meet this Emperor, whether it's a man or a woman. They're going to be someone who's recently divorced or separated, become single. They will have got cheated on. They may tell you that, or you may not find that out. But there'll be someone really successful. They've got a lot of responsibilities and it's a good person. It's a very accomplished person. Let's get you some advice. Protection. Keep some aquamarine close. Mermaid's tears have been known to create these precious gems. I feel like sometimes the advice that comes out is for your person, because they've got sacrifice. You know, love may come with sacrifices. Evaluate what you're willing to give up and what you're not. Protection. So this person may not have had enough boundaries, and you're being brought in to their life because you're someone that's safe for them to love. You will not mistreat them. The voice of the heart. I silence the fear in me and discover the voice of my heart. The fruit of these words guides me. I trust the song of my soul. My intuition leads me on the path of light. So this is a healing energy, you know, this bluey green. Particularly, there's a lot of blue here. Now, green is the heart chakra, blue is the throat chakra. So if you think about it, it's about learning, forgiving, unconditional love, but it's also having boundaries and voicing what we need, what we require. I know this is upside down, but this is the order of the chakras. If you're looking at a body, that's the head and that's the base of your spine, and each one is reliant upon the other. So you've got to heal your heart in order to then voice what, you know, move into a new relationship and voice what you need and have your boundaries. This is your throat chakra, it's your expression. In God's hands. My trust in life is implicit. God's greater knowing and greatest love guide my heart and my choices. My faith is steady and I remain true to my light. Everything unfolds according to God's will. So don't lose faith, okay? Have that high priestess card, like follow your gut, but trust in the divine, trust in that crown chakra. Don't lose, you know, faith. Know that it's all part of a bigger plan. When things feel like they're falling apart, something better, you know, comes along. This is a tower moment, and towers are always, you know, crap things that are replaced with something loads better, even if it doesn't seem that way at the time. Courage. I am stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. I am light and I remain light. I trust in God and stand tall before the tests of life. I grow and become wiser through every challenge. I am a being of new life. Okay, so you are getting literally like reborn here. Right, I'm going to leave that there for you, Libra. if you leave it on any note, leave it on the fact that the universe is bringing you some good luck here. You're getting an Emperor. You know, they're in a bit of a bad way at the moment, so go easy on them. Treat them well, and I'm sure that person will repay you. You know, they might have their walls up for a little bit, but they're totally worth it. Totally worth it. I think that's a very similar message to what you've had for a couple of readings now. The summer of love. It said around May to August, didn't it? They're having a purge, they're getting rid of, you know, what no longer serves them. Okay, thank you, Libra. On to Scorpio. Don't forget to give me a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost. You're welcome to stick around for the other signs. Let's have a shuffle, get some fresh energy. Okay, spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Scorpio's highest good. How is Scorpio feeling in the second week of May 2025 with regards to what they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for Scorpio, please. I'm just going to glue this nail back on. Just knocked another one. Ow. Okay. Three cards for how you're feeling then, first of all, Scorpio. Okay, so the Five of Cups reversed. Now, the Five of Cups upright is someone who's experiencing grief, sadness, loss, regret. Okay, it's a real, like, card of mourning, grief, sadness, deep regret, pain, you know, realising that something's over. When it's reversed, it's like we're coming out of that, okay? Either coming out of it or refusing to accept it, but I think coming out of it. Coming out the other side. The High Priestess, so this came out in the, which reading did I just do? Libra reading. And not in any of the others, so you could be a Libra, Scorpio, cusper. But the High Priestess is all about following your intuition, following your gut, having faith that everything is part of a wider plan, okay? It's being very connected to spirit. So I do feel that you're healing. One more for Scorpio. The Eight of Pentacles. That also came out for Libra as well. Could just be a coincidence. The Eight of Pentacles is growth and expansion. It's investments of time, money, and energy into growing and expanding, building a future. Very, very nice. A sense of recovery, trust, belief, following your intuition, being connected to spirit. I was just quickly jotting down. Oh, look, there's another card here. I was jotting down. I forgot to write for Virgo because I got called from a dinner. As well as the Eight of Pentacles, you've got the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is someone that's willing to be open-minded. He hangs himself, he suspends himself in a different position because he wants to see the world from another perspective. It's a problem-solving attitude, it's growth mindset, like whatever it takes, I will find a way, you know, to work it out in order to get growth and expansion that's sufficient for me. I'm willing to do things a different way, to take advice. I don't know if that, I guess that Emperor was upright. We keep getting the Emperor today. So if that was with that, that would make perfect sense. Okay, it's bossing up and it's being able to seek wise counsel to do that and be mentored or take criticism, take advice. The one that's on your mind that you're dealing with or manifesting in has got Seven of Pentacles with the Tower reversed. So somebody here is very reflective. They're looking back on the past. They're taking stock of what they've achieved so far. It's a reflective energy, 7. The Tower is major transformation. The landscape of your life is not going to be the same when there's a Tower moment. It's like someone breaking up with you or you becoming pregnant, or getting married, or someone announcing they want a divorce, or your boss making you redundant. It's major change. And with the Tower reversed, someone's trying to avoid a Tower here. They're trying to look back and reflect and avoid a Tower moment. So I don't know if this is someone that's coming in the future, because you've already got a sense of loss. Then you kind of got faith that better times are coming. You've got growth and expansion, bossing up. This person is trying to avoid a Tower moment. So what is that to do with? More cards, please, for Scorpio's person. The one that's on their mind, the one that they're dealing with, or the one that they're manifesting in the future. Right, so we've got the Ace of Wands, the Six of Wands. Well, that's all positive. Let's have a look at these. The Wheel of Fortune upright and the Chariot reversed. What is going on? Right, the Six of Wands is victory, recognition, success. It's really, really positive. It's like being, on your graduation day and everyone's cheering and celebrating and you're walking through the street getting clapped and, celebrated. It's really, really nice energy. Ace of Wands is a rebirth, a renewal. You see that it's a seed, and the root system is really complex, really comprehensive, and you've got the new growth coming out the top. You got all this water and emotion. You got chessboards, so there's a lot of strategy, a lot of hope, desire, excitement. Wands is fire energy, it's passion, it's enthusiasm. And these look like flowers, but they also look like phoenixes, don't they? It really, really does look like a rebirth. Ace of Wands I always see as a renewal. So someone's got success and a sense of like accomplishment over a renewal. They feel lucky, like the universe is giving them this second chance. But the Chariot, there could be delays because the Chariot is overturned. The Chariot, is the Emperor's vehicle. He jumps into it and he has something major that he needs to achieve. It's all been part of the strategy, the war, the need to, conquer. So it's about movement, decisive movement, taking action, traveling, but it's been overturned. It's the major arcana for Cancer. So this person could have Cancer in the chart, Tower. The Tower is Aries energy. There's a lot of fire here. A lot of fire, so it could be a fire sign or someone with those placements, could be a Cancer or someone with that in their chart. But there's some sort of delay or block to a renewal. Love. The universe is guiding this. Luck is on your side, but it may be slightly delayed. So these are all the cards for the one that you're thinking about dealing with or manifesting in. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Wands. This is a very determined energy. It's competition. It's the desire to climb. If you're in a workplace, you wish to move up the ladder or certainly be recognised, celebrated, get a pat on the head, pat on the back, handshakes, like be mentioned. Like, this is like, I am determined to be successful. I'm determined to win. I'm determined to be competitive and get what I want. So again, more fire energy here. It makes me think of this person on the bike. They're like very driven, aren't they, by action, and they're a doer. So it is very much like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Let's get 3 cards for the outcome. The 9 of Cups reversed. Someone's very unhappy. Whatever the situation is, they're unhappy about it. They're not content. 9 of Cups upright will be, I'm happy within myself right now. I feel secure. I feel calm. I feel abundant. I'm just generally satisfied as an individual person. When it's reversed, it's like, I don't want to be single. I don't want to be, you know, single and independent. I want to be together with someone else. Or I'm unhappy, you know, by myself, or in whatever situation I'm in right now, I'm unhappy. So that's in the outcome. Let's get 2 more. You both seem to be bossing up. 4 of Wands reversed. Lack of stability. 4 is a number of stability. The 4 legs to a chair, the 4 walls to a house. It's very sturdy, very stable. But we're missing a leg here. You know, there's instability within a household or a union, or we don't have financial security, we don't have a house, or we don't have a public relationship, something that everyone is aware of, exclusive. Nine of Swords, anxiety, fear, unable to sleep. Well, that sucks a bit for an outcome, doesn't it? Like, unable to feel happy, satisfied, contented, unable to sleep, lack of security, stability. This person's trying to avoid a tower, so maybe it's them. Because you were grieving, but then you've kind of like found faith. You know that everything's going to work out. You're determined to grow and expand, take all advice given, boss up. I think this is someone that's coming in the future, and I don't know, they could, or it's an ex that wants a rebirth with you, but yeah, they don't want to be single. It could be someone that's coming in the future. It could be an ex that wants a rebirth. Let's have a dig and see either way why they've got the Tower and why they've got the Chariot overturned. What are they trying to avoid with this Tower moment? It takes 2. Someone is not committed, incompatible, conflicted. I wonder if this is your ex, Scorpio, and you're over it and they're not. If you're not involved with anyone, that doesn't resonate at all. It could be that this is someone that's still in that mode, that frame of mind where they want a rebirth with their current person, and it's not going to happen. Let's see what else comes out. Because they know what they want, and it's a rebirth. Whether that's with you or someone they're currently like in danger of splitting up from or in separation with. They want a rebirth. See, these have come out sideways, so I'm going to have to read both ends. We've got moonlit unity. Use understanding to have greater emotional balance. Peaceful parallel. Harmony flows. Lives aligned, basking in the serene glow of peace. Yeah, but that's... See, this said it takes two. Someone's not committed, incompatible, or conflicted. There isn't moonlit unity. There isn't peaceful parallel. So why would you want a rebirth with that? You can push all you want, but if the other person is not meeting you halfway, you can't make someone be with you. Frozen heart, empathy and warmth melts barriers for true connection. Trusted ties build rapport, believe in mutual respect, and respond with understanding. It all says that there isn't true connection here. There's too much distance. There's too much on different pages. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. Let's get one more. Total drama. Putting on a show. Sex shop. What is going on here? I wonder if this person's going to try and seduce their ex to like get a rebirth going, but it's like they're flogging a dead horse. Do you know what I mean? You're trying to reignite the passion in something that just, it never was how it was supposed to be. All the messages here are, you're not in alignment. I'm not talking to you, Scorpio, I'm talking to the one that's coming in the future, or I could be talking to you and your ex. This could be your ex, or it could be someone that's like needs to just give up with the person that they're with because they're flogging a dead horse. Either way, not in alignment at all. If this is your ex, you've already grieved them. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're the only ones that don't know that. Let's see what else we can find out. What's going on here with this person, the one that's showing up in Scorpio's reading? Air sign. They could be an air sign, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. Well, they could be intellectualizing things instead of, you know, feeling that it's over. They could just be thinking, well, I don't want it to be over, so I'm going to logically work on it and it's going to go to my plan. But I don't think that's the case, is it, really? The other person doesn't feel the same, so you can't make anyone be with you. Can't make anyone stay with you. The dragonfly, let's have a look. Be light-hearted, finding out things coming to light, adapt, change, and heal. This person's going to realise that it takes two, you know, to make a go of something, and you can't, you know, if one person's putting in 1%, you can't put in 99. Or if they put in 0%, you can't put in 100, you know, or if they're like withdrawing themselves and putting in -10, you can't give 110%. It's just ridiculous. What have you got? So I think they're going to realise, like, they're fighting a losing battle here. They're fighting a losing battle. I'm going to put that as the title. It's like trying to change the direction of the tide. It's just not, do you know what I mean? It's pointless. You can try, but it won't work. Just like, for example, if you're Scorpio watching this and you think this could be your ex, or if you're a cross watcher and this resonates with you, this side of the reading, I'm going to get a confession. I look at your pictures on my phone. I'm sorry for being so toxic. I've never felt this strongly about someone before. I know I need to work on myself. Is someone who's reflective, you know, this is classic air sign, like they're a thinker to the point of overthinking. They intellectualize problems, they try to analyze it, they try to understand it, but then we try to control it. So they're genuinely sorry. If this is an ex and this resonates for you, Scorpio, as it being an ex, they could be an air sign, they don't have to be, they could have that in their chart. But there was drama, you know, and they've tried to force this to work. They're trying to avoid a tower moment. They want a rebirth, but it's, if you don't feel that way, it's not happening, is it? If that's not the case, you have no idea who I'm talking about. This could be someone that's flogging a dead horse, and then in the future they're going to come in for you. And it'll just be right, because they wouldn't show up in your reading for any other reason, but you're going to be the right fit, and they're not going to have to flog it, and they're not going to have to, you know, keep putting in 110% because the other person's withdrawing. It's just going to be natural. It's just going to work. When things are right, they're easy. They just flow easy. It does itself, you know. Right, let's get some advice. Oh, hang on. I haven't done this one. What's the nature of this connection? The one that this person's going through, the one that's showing up in Scorpio's reading. Trust. Guard your heart. Not everyone deserves your trust. Okay, so that they've trusted in the wrong person. There's been total drama. Putting on a show. Maybe there's emotional distance that never was right, okay, and they've just kept pushing it for whatever reason. Advice for Scorpio. Advice for Scorpio, please. Chance. Allow the sea to wash its chest of wonders ashore. You never know what the tide may bring in. Okay, so this person could be getting brought to you. If you don't know who this is, you could be manifesting them in, and you're just going to be right for each other. If you're watching this and you're like, that's my ex, 100%, and I'm not interested, and I'm over it, and I've already grieved, and they won't leave me alone. Again, they're just saying, like, be open to new, you know, like something wonderful is going to come along all by itself. So you're doing the right thing not to be hung up on them. If it's someone that you're not interested in revisiting, doesn't matter how much they want it, you haven't got to do anything you don't want to do. Not these, these. Return to heart. I breathe light and stick to the essential for my soul. The present moment. I calm my thoughts. I focus on my heart and find space to be where my light and greatness are. I find peace and inner silence. Okay, so that's a really nice healing energy. That's definitely the throat chakra, isn't it? Like finding boundaries, expressing what you need, what's a deal breaker, being very clear, communicating effectively. Okay, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I'm looking for. Creation. I have the power to direct my life. With a constructive attitude, I create what is best for my soul. I firmly believe I can transform and improve my inner and outer worlds by turning every thought into affirmative action. I act in the image of God and bring light into my life. Yeah, so affirmative action is like, right, I've decided, now I'm going to do. You know, and I feel like that's exactly what you're doing, Scorpio. Yeah, this person taking action, but it's kind of like they're putting too much focus on stuff that isn't for them. You're growing and expanding and taking control of your life, but you trust the divine, you know, to bring to you what's meant for you as well. So that's brilliant. You're bossing up. When's this person, if it's someone new, when are they going to come in for Scorpio? If it's not the ex, when is this going to come in for Scorpio? Release the need to control. Not anytime soon. In the nearest future. So the nearest future for you isn't anytime soon. We're not allowed to know. Okay, this person's... You wouldn't want this person when they're obsessed with trying to get back with someone else, would you? So if they're meant for you, it's a way off yet, guys, okay? But you are quite busy with whatever it is that you're up to, problem solving, growing, bossing up. So that's how it's supposed to be for right now. Take care, Scorpio. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like. Give the channel a share. And don't forget to hit the notifications. Follow, subscribe, repost, support the channel. That would be amazing. We are going to be going on to Sagittarius. What a beautiful evening here in England. Beautiful day, beautiful evening. So we need to shuffle first, and what I'm thinking. Okay, spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Sagittarius' highest good. How is Sagittarius feeling in this second week of May 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? We've got the Queen of Cups reversed. So the Queen of Cups, when she's upright, you see that she's underwater, she's submerged. It reminds me of Atlantis, but it's like water heals us. She's very in touch with her emotions. She's emotionally intelligent. She's in tune. When it's reversed, it's like no water, no emotion, or we're completely awash and we're over emotional. Okay, it's an exaggerated version in either direction. This is being emotionally intelligent, calm, an empath, you know, really nurturing. This is like, I've blocked all emotion, or I'm over emotional, I can't stop crying, I'm having outbursts, you know, like of anger. It's being over emotional. So either under emotional or over emotional at the moment. A lack of empathy, a lack of understanding, or over sympathetic, over empathizing, overly doting on someone. The Knight of Swords. Okay, so the Knight of Swords has an urgent message to deliver. It's a fast communication and it's a truth. It's something honest and it has to be delivered right away. It can't wait. It's urgent, fast communication. So you really want to tell someone something and it can't wait. You could be over emotional at the moment then, because if you really want to talk to someone, you wouldn't be blocking them. The Page of Wands. So this is someone that's eager for a new adventure. Okay, so you could be telling someone that you want new. You want to start a new life with someone else. You want a new adventure with someone else. You want things to change and be different. You're excited for things to change and be different. You're looking for a new journey, a new adventure. You're excited about new, okay? Because pages are at the beginning. They don't have fear. They don't have baggage. They're not currently involved with anyone. It's the beginnings of, you know, like planning or observing. Right, who are you dealing with? It could be someone that you're currently dealing with, someone that's on your mind from the past, or someone that you're manifesting in the future. They've got the Ten of Cups reversed, so that is, when the Ten of Cups is upright, this is everyone in the household being happy, fulfilled, satisfied, content. When it's reversed, it's the opposite of that. So no one's happy, no one's fulfilled, no one's satisfied, no one's content in this household, in this family dynamic. Two of Wands reversed. So the Two of Wands upright is, I need to make a choice. Am I going to go in this direction or that direction, A or B? It's a planning phase, like which one. I need to make a choice. This person is refusing to make a decision. They don't know what to do. They don't know what they want, okay? Wands are passion, their adventure, their enthusiasm, their action. So this person is like, nope, not dealing with it. not making a decision. In the challenge position, we've got a number of cards as a combination. So if they were this way, we'd have the Queen of Wands reversed, the Ace of Cups reversed, and the Nine of Swords upright. The Queen of Wands represents you, Sagittarius, okay? So you're reversed. The Ace of Cups is reversed, which is being in love. With that being reversed, there could be a lack of love. They could see you as very angry, very discontented, over emotional, overbearing. I'm not saying that's exactly the case. It could be like that. I'll talk about them if they're the other way. The Nine of Swords is pain, fear, anxiety. It's been going on for a while. If we turn it the other way, there would be you, Sagittarius. There would be, you know, a loving union, the two of you being in love, completely in love. And we would have a dropping of the burden. So this is the challenge, is can we make it work? Can we be happy as a family? Are you happy in this connection, Sagittarius? Are you in love with me anymore? Are you going to leave? Are you going to end it? Because they don't want to choose, they want you to choose. If this is, you know, a family connection and, you know, you're showing up as a queen, they're showing up as Ten of Cups reversed, Queen of Wands. You're both in your feminine energy. You're over emotional, and they either view you as over emotional, or they're being that's their energy, maybe. But it's just interesting that that's very Sagittarian energy, that, and they see this as like an unhappy family dynamic. So I'm looking at the whole spread, because normally if there was a court card on this side, I'd see them as that. But I think with this whole spread, you two are clearly in a union. I think you want out, actually, and I think you're going to deliver that message. And I think they want you to kind of choose what happens. They don't want to be the person that takes action or makes the decision. They don't know what you're going to say, you know. Let's get 3 for the outcome. What an interesting reading. Right, in the outcome, we've got the Seven of Swords and the Knight of Wands reversed. So someone is having an affair. They're doing sneaky linking behind the other person's back. So that could be you, it could be them, it could be both of you doing that to each other. But this is overly lusty. You know, the Knight of Wands is very sexual, but when it's reversed, it's like highly promiscuous, like very sexualized energy, over the top, you know. And this is sneaking around. It's lying, cheating, stealing, deceptive behavior, strategic behavior in order to sleep with someone else. That's in the outcome. I hate it when people do that and they like act really weird and distant with you, making you break up with them, but really you didn't want the relationship to end, but they've kind of treated you so bad that you have to finish it. It's pathetic, really. The Ace of Swords is in the challenge position in the outcome, so this is yet to be uncovered. There's a lack of clarity. This is happening in secret. It's yet to come out. You know, if it was upright, it'd be a confession of this going on, or an exposure of this going on, sudden clarity, sudden truth, sudden revelation. But that's the challenge, is like, are they going to get found out? No wonder they're nervous. Arguments, fighting, competition, determination. This person's shady. They're shady, okay? Because they're trying to make you do the dirty work, you know, and finish it. Cut the cord. They're trying to make you do it so they're not the bad guy. If this resonates, it's because your person that you're married to, or in a seriously long-term connection with, that you have children with, it's because they've gone weird with you and distant, and they're pushing you away. They're moving their hand when you try to put yours next to theirs. They're going out more. You know, they're constantly going out with friends. They're staying over when they go out. You know, certain journeys are taking a lot longer. If they're being shady and this resonates, I don't think anything good can come from staying in it, but it's a real jerk move that to be weird with you to get you to finish it, because they're just going round, going up to all sorts. They're putting everything on the line to go and do, you know, this, do the deed with someone over and over again. It's more than done. I'm going to get a confession from them in a minute. Empty. The truth is that you simply don't feel fulfilled. It's worth the wait to find true happiness. They're not in love anymore, and I'm sorry to say that, but if they're having an affair, if they're, you know, really hypersexualized and they're sneaking around and regularly sleeping with other people or another person, and they're trying to force you to end it, that's just, it's more than done. It's gone way beyond having problems. It's like so over. Do you know what I mean? And you would know that from the way that they're being. Crossing over, bridge the gap between your hearts with trust. Well, that's ironic, to be honest, because there's trust here, but they don't deserve it. They've broken your trust. If they were a proper man or a proper woman, they would say as soon as their feelings started to change, they would have said something. What the hell was that noise? That was so weird. I don't know what bird that was, but it was scary. Could have been like a goose, or, you know, it's like, it wasn't something I'm used to hearing. That was really weird. Shit. Knowing they fucked up. Love story once upon a time. Oh dear. They went looking for trouble somewhere else and they found it. This is not the way to handle it, though. I don't know why I've gone straight to advice. I didn't mean to do that, sorry. Got distracted by that bird. I want further clarification. water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. They could be a water sign, they could be involved with a water sign. For some reason that's come out. So that's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. Could be the energy that they're in, like romantic energy, flirty energy, emotional, you know, intimate energy, like all up in the feels. Hand of cards, take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing the hand, gambling. They get off on taking these risks because it makes them feel alive. They were feeling empty. They were feeling empty, like, you know, when you feel like an extra in your own life, or you feel like you're having an outer body experience, you're not yourself, hollow, a shell of the person that you used to feel. Like they've done it because it's thrilling, it's exciting, it's like taking a risk, maybe you get caught, you know, like taking the chance and getting away with it makes you feel like you're winning, like you're clever, like, you know, it's sad that someone's got to do that to feel like they can find enjoyment, but it's what, you know, they just didn't feel alive before. Like it's a bit like how people do like base jumping, or what does Story do, parkour and stuff like that. Like something really bad could happen one day, but it's like while you're winning, you just can't help but keep doing it. Do you know what I mean? They've been on a winning streak. But gambling with your 10 of Cups isn't, that's too much of a risk. Definitely. Let's get a confession from them and then we'll get messages from them. I really want to kiss you. God, they're like hypersexualized, aren't they? They need to like calm themselves. They need a cold shower. Let's get messages from them. 10 of Cups reversed. Ace of Wands. They think they can fix this. They think they can refocus on the family and get everyone to be like glued together again. I think so, yes. What was that over? The 2 of Wands reversed. Yeah, they're just refusing to. It's like having the cake and eating it too. They're refusing to like make a choice. You know, family or third party, stay or go. Tell people, you know, and separate or keep it a secret. You matter. So this is like where you matter, will you choose me? So they're making you choose. I told you that. Because all of this is like, I'm 2 of Wands reversed, they're refusing to make a choice, and then they're just waiting for you to like decide. You know, there's you showing up as Sagittarius, the Queen of Wands, Ace of Cups, 9 of Swords. Like either you're going to choose to put me out my misery and stay with me, or you're going to, you know, fly off the handle, fall out of love, and I'll never get over this, you know, like moving out and losing my family. So they're kind of making you decide what's going to happen next. Let's get you some advice, Sagittarius. I feel like you need this. The ocean. Be beautiful, mysterious, wild and free. This is boring. This is so boring. This is so old. This is so, like, over. Do you know what I mean? And, like, you're amazing. You're the adventurer. You're brave. You go out and get what you want. If this doesn't turn you on, then you shouldn't be, putting up with it. You're not a stuck, stagnant sign. You're a fire sign. Fire's unrelenting, it's burning, it's confident, it's charismatic, it's assertive, it's goal orientated. None of this, putting up with this, is a Sagittarian energy. You're beautiful, mysterious, wild, and you're free. Affirmation. I listen to myself and acknowledge my needs. I assert myself and retain my power. I am brave and gentle. I don't have to be afraid of others. I respect myself and I'm respected by others. I love that for you. That is the root chakra. It's red. Where have I put my chakra chart? Hang on. There it is. The root chakra is red. It's at the base of your spine. You need to feel safe. You need to feel secure in order to feel sexy, in order to feel confident, in order to have a forgiving nature. You need to feel secure. And if someone's running around, sneaking around behind your back, they're giving you, little stories, telling little tales, missing things out, giving you half-truths, giving you the runaround. You can't do anything with that. You can't do anything with it. You can't work with lies. You can only work with the truth. And if this is a dishonest person, they're just, it's all smoke and mirrors, isn't it? So you need to go out and you need to capture the life you want, Sagittarius. You can't be putting up with this stupid dance that this person's doing. It's ridiculous. Belief. I believe in myself. Oh my god, I need my chart again. Come on. Look at that colour. Look how well that matches. That's the crown chakra. You're in good company in this universe. The divine's got your back. I believe myself, the beauty of life and the goodness of God. Thus, I have the power to fulfill my dreams. The will of the Almighty supports me. My life is showered in divine light, and my heart opens the power of the universe. I'm sorry to swear, but that's fucking beautiful. That's brilliant. Beautiful and brilliant. Thanks for the likes, guys. Thank you. Every little helps. Oh my god, how good is that? Soul on fire. I mean, that's a mic drop right there. That's an absolute, absolute mic drop. I love it. I absolutely love that. That's never come out before. Belief, affirmation. Be beautiful, mysterious, wild and free. It couldn't be any clearer, could it? I'm leaving that there. That's your reading. If that resonates, please like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel. If you think could help someone else that you know who's going through that, support the channel, share them, the channel. And we're going to go on to Capricorn. They sure did. You know, half the time people want a rebirth because it's out of guilt. They think that, you know, they just don't want to feel guilty anymore. It's not because they actually want to be with you. It's just a joke, isn't it? It's like, get away from me. I would never want someone to be with me because they feel guilty. Not at all. Jog on. Free me up so I can be with someone that's just thrilled to be around me. Because that ain't it. Okay, let's have a shuffle. It's a bit quiet today, isn't it? But everyone's out enjoying the sun. I do not blame them. I was busy earlier. One more shuffle. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Capricorn's highest good. How is Capricorn feeling in the second week of May 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for Capricorn, please. That was aggressive. Right, we've got the 6 of Pentacles upright and the 2 of Swords reversed. Now, the 2 of Swords is a positive reversal. 6 of Pentacles upright is someone who's looking for equal give and take. Did you get this last time? 3 Pentacles from you, 3 Pentacles from them. Pentacles are investments of time, money, and energy. The 2 of Swords, when it's upright, is someone who's refusing to deal with a situation, okay, that needs, it's a decision that needs to be made. So you blindfold yourself, you know, you close off your body language, you're like, nope, bury your head in the sand. When you reverse it though, it's like, now I'm dealing with it. Now I'm ready to face this. So looking for equal give and take, okay? We're not looking away from people. We're not making excuses for their lack of effort, lack of time, lack of money, lack of energy. We require that now. I'm just going to move them because they're in the way. Let's get another couple for Capricorn. 8 of Wands, fast action, progress, communication. Okay, so things are moving in the right direction. Now that we've, you know, made affirmative action, it's all moving forwards. One more. The 7 of Swords, the Knight of Wands reversed, and the 3 of Pentacles reversed. You could have got cheated on. I'm saying that because at first I thought it was you, but then it was with the 3 of Pentacles reversed. So someone as being uncooperative. You could have been the person cheating, but you could have been the third party, and now you're like, I ain't doing that anymore. It's not fun. Being last on the list of priorities, someone that has to get used to hearing no, you know, I'm not doing it. So you could have been tangled up in something where the person just refused to cooperate and work together, because 3 is a number of community, but 3 of Pentacles can be workplaces, could be a workplace affair, or it could be that we're just not able to cooperate. They're not working together with me because it's reversed. This is like overly sexual energy, highly passionate, secretive. So I think someone's like been dodging and weaving and getting what they want from you at times, and then, you know, shaking you off at times, and you're just not having it anymore. There's been quite a lot of that coming out in the reads, to be honest. Let's get 3 for them. Well, whoever it is that shows up in your reading, but I feel like because you're in the thick of it, it'll be them. So it could be someone from the past, it could be someone you're currently dealing with, or it could be someone that you're manifesting in. Let's see. They've got the 5 of Cups as the challenge. So when you had, because these are a bit like timelines, so at the same time that you were not willing to look away from the lack of give and take, they're like, oh my goodness, like, do I grieve this? Am I going to have to grieve this connection? So I think they were worried. I think they were in regret about how they treated you. Because the 5 of Cups is grief, sadness, loss, regret. Okay, so they could lose it, or they could feel really remorseful. We've got the Page of Pentacles and the Empress. Okay. This is the first time the Empress has shown up today out of 12 zodiac signs. The Empress is the major arcana for Libra and for Taurus. Okay. The Empress attracts, she does not chase. Someone is offering the Empress a pentacle. Someone new. Someone would like to invest in the Empress. Time, money, and energy. You know, dating with a view to having a relationship. They view this person as worthy because she's all 4 queens. She's the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles. You know, she's abundant, she's creative, she's a nurturer, she's very beautiful, highly intelligent, very calm. She glides, you know, you feel safe around the Empress. She can literally be pregnant, but she can be pregnant with possibilities. Okay, she's highly abundant with ideas. She's very stylish, very creative, very very caring, very grounded. She attracts wealth and she attracts beauty. See, this person could be a Libra or they could be a Taurus. They could have these placements in their chart. They could be a mother. They could be someone who's middle-aged. They could be someone who's older. Someone who's retired. They don't have to be. They could be in a really high-powered job. They could be a business owner or really senior in what they do. They've got a lot of responsibilities. but they take care of them. They take it in their stride. And they look good doing it as well. They could be a homeowner. It's a very accomplished person. They're the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles. They're a fantastic provider. They're well aware of their responsibilities. The Magician upright, the Ace of Wands reversed. Right, so the Magician is all four aces, okay? He's the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles. This person has the tenacity, the ambition, the drive, the knowledge, the know-how, the bravery. They have the money to invest, the savings, the slush fund, the income. They have, you know, the credit history. They have the patience to think things through, to be calm, the forgiving. They have everything that it takes. They have all the tools. However, why is there a lack of a rebirth? Why is there not the Ace of Wands? Maybe they don't want a rebirth, or maybe this is bigger than them. Yeah, because the challenge was grief, wasn't it? So even though they're a very capable person, they can't make, you know, they can't make God. They can't make, this is divine. An ace is like your hard work being met halfway by the divine. But, you know, they're not being given, oh yeah, that makes sense, because the Magician is all four aces. They don't have the Ace of Wands. There's either a lack of passion, a lack of drive, a lack of enthusiasm, or a lack of desire. There's a lack of passion and desire for a rebirth. There's regret, but there was just a lack of passion, I think. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to this. So we had, on your side, you wanted cooperation. You were potentially a third party, an outsider, getting attention from an Empress, or giving lots of attention to an Empress. Very sexual. And then they might have gone cold. They might be distracted by other things. They might just not view it as a priority. For some reason, they don't have the Ace of Wands for this. Okay, so where you've got the Eight of Wands and you're wanting action, progress, communication, they could be really demotivated or distracted right now. In the challenge, they've got loss or regret, so that they may really regret not giving you more time. But, you know, because you were wanting to invest in this Empress, this Taurus or Libra, or just someone really accomplished, abundant, they could be older than you. They've got all the stuff going on, okay, that's really distracted them, I think. I wouldn't say they don't want it, because why have we got this sense of loss and regret? Do you know what I mean? It's about the whole spread. Let's get 3 for the outcome. I'm just going to close the window because it's getting a bit cold now. Ow. Let's get 3 for the outcome. Two of Wands reversed, refusing to take a direction. This person, like, just like, nope, not moving, not talking. Maybe that's you, maybe that's them. I mean, you've become clear on what you want. You don't want to sneak around. You want to go legit. You want to go exclusive. You want to cooperate. You want to invest. They're the one with a lack of drive, a lack of enthusiasm for a rebirth. So I'd say, I'm going to go back to say it's them that's not choosing. Nine of Wands, feeling, you know, challenged. They might have loads on their plate at the moment, or this could have been dragged out for a while. Four of Cups in the challenge position, so that's being closed off to emotion, expression of emotion from others. 10 of Cups, the strength, major for Leo, and the Two of Pentacles. What on earth? So the 10 of Cups is everyone in a household being happy. It's that happy family life. Every person is content, their cups are full. The strength, the major for Leo, is a need to be emotionally strong as opposed to brawn and brain. We've got the need to, you know, have a strong heart to stay emotionally steady. The Two of Pentacles is this eternal juggle. Someone's trying to, they're trying to juggle family life. They're trying to keep everything, all the plates spinning. They want harmony. They want, I want to say alliance, but I don't think that's the word that I'm looking for. They want harmony. The juggler. I wonder if they have got kids. They've certainly got a lot on their plate right now. It's not just one plate, there's several plates spinning all at once. I think they're overwhelmed with, you know, sometimes we have periods, like we'll have a month where for some reason all our deadlines are like in one go. And then loads of unexpected stuff comes up as well. And you're like, do you know what I mean? Let's do some digging. Why have they got the Five of Cups in the challenge position? Hoity-toity, champagne taste, beer budget, arrogant and pretentious, fierce temper, has too many anger issues and dark moods, abusive. Pull my neck. They're having mood swings and like loss of libido, you know, like they're annoying to be around because they're trying to put on a show and trying to have a good time, but it's like the sense of like not really coping, you know, feeling overwhelmed. They could be someone who's trying to put across, you know, certain lifestyle, or they're trying to do it all, like things that are necessary and things that are, you know, for entertainment, for fun, whilst taking care of the home, taking care of business, taking care of everything. You know, love is taking a back seat for a while, and you might just be over it. Let's get some more. Consumed, extinguish doubt by having open communication. You need to have a conversation with this person. Take the bull by the horns. You know, are we okay? What's going on with us? Do I matter to you? Have you missed me? Like, is this done? Because I need equal give and take. I need 50-50. Oh, total drama. You know, they're either really up or they're really down. That's why there's a desire for harmony. I had a thought that I wanted to do something then and then I forgot what it was. That's ridiculous. Let's see if we can get any more clarity. Open up your heart. It will help you attract more love. Their heart chakra's closed off. They're closed off to love at the moment. They just want balance. They want a quiet family life. Intimacy, sexual chemistry, reminiscing. Okay, so their mind could be occupied. I do this as well. You tide yourself over in quiet spells because you're ultra busy. You're not really seeing or involved with anyone, so you think about experiences from the past, and that can like stop you from, you know, looking for intimacy in real time because you're just able to go through like highlight reels in your head of like past intimate moments. Confession, someone has to tell you something. Oh my goodness. Confession, intimacy, open your heart. They may still have feelings for someone from the past, but I don't know. That was just a thought, just based on what's there. Let's see what else comes out. Maybe they need more passion and more intimacy, but they've, you know, they've lost it because there's just too much going on. Ooh, maybe it is that they're fantasizing about other people because we've got a girl with a snake. Empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, being an enabler, having no boundaries. They could be a little bit toxic, this person. They might sort of like fantasize about crazy sex that they've had with other people that are no good for them, you know, and so they show off a bit, they get angry, you know, they can push love away, because they play with fire. Play with fire, you get your fingers burnt, you know, been there, done that. That's why I'm keeping out of trouble. At least for a while. Let's get a confession from them. Loads of confessions here. Shit. I'm regretting my previous actions. I'm truly sorry. You deserve better. God, are they going to tell you that they've been intimate with someone else? It might not just be fantasizing. It could be that they've been intimate with someone else. Or they may feel like they're cheating on you by fantasizing about other people. I don't feel like I'm good enough for you. Well, that comes from guilt, doesn't it? I self-sabotaged our connection. Maybe their heart belongs to someone else from the past. You are the only one I see. Maybe they realise that you're, you know, like someone to be with, and that it's wrong to be treating you like this. I think time apart is best for us right now. That's sad. That's so sad, guys. If this resonates, then it's someone in your life that you don't feel that you're getting equal give and take from. They're distracted, you know, they're like hyper independent from you. They're closed off to emotion. They don't offer emotion. They could be fantasizing about other people when they're alone. They could be sleeping with other people when they're alone. I'm not saying they are or they aren't, but they're not emotionally available, and that's the be all and end all. And they know that that's not the right thing for you. There's just a lack of cooperation, and you know, they probably got the things burnt dancing with the devils, the wrong people, but they're looking for serenity now. They're trying to find balance, you know, for the sake of everyone around them and themselves. Let's see what they've got to say for themselves. Although they've said a lot, that's a lot of, it's like confessional over here. There's a lot of confessions. They're not the right cards, it's these. So with the Five of Cups, we've got, do you even see me that way? Well, they've got no right to say that to you, because they're the ones that have been thinking about other people. They're emotionally unavailable, so they can't flip it around and put it on you. It's maybe a bit angry that. Love me? No. I'm ready. Let's take a leap of faith. Well, why would you say that when you've got the Ace of Wands and then no passion or sex drive or enthusiasm for it? That represents the opposite of a rebirth. That would be a rebirth. That would be a beautiful energy. But we've got that. So, like, what is this person on about? Just because you're someone for them to be with doesn't mean you're getting anything out of being with them. Do you know what I mean? What are you getting out of it? That's pissed me off, that, to be honest. Individuality. Be wary of possessive partners and maintain your individuality. They could be possessive over you if they think like their self-worth is higher by association, because you're a good person, you work hard, you're loyal, you know, you're well liked, well thought of in the community, you've got good savings. Maybe they're like, well, I'm a better person by being associated with them. But it's not the case, is it? This is their journey that they need to like work on themselves, because they've been emotionally unavailable and stringing you along, and they regret their actions and they're sorry for it. But it's like they're not sorry enough to love you from afar. They want to keep you in their net. So that's not growth. That's not being real. It's not being fair. I'm going to get you advice, and then I'm going to see when someone new might come in. And then I'm going to get a lamp, because it's like we're losing the light here. Right, if this is resonating for a Capricorn, what's your advice for them? For the self-sabotager that's effed up with my Capricorn. Journey. Half the treasure is the journey on the path to finding it. You don't have to have all the answers for life now. You don't have to be married and settled down now. You don't have to remarry or meet someone in retirement now. Just enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, okay? Get comfortable with the not knowing. Right, so we've got goodness. I overcome my imperfections, polish my character, and feed on the positive. Thus I free myself, allow my goodness to manifest, and become a resource of joy. Through gentleness, I offer unconditional support, understanding, and love to myself and others. That's the heart chakra. Unconditional love. This is, you know, being encouraged to heal. Don't hold grudges. Let it go. You know, live and let live. Let people learn from their mistakes. Sometimes people have to lose you to really feel the loss, you know, and feel the result of their actions, to feel the consequences of their actions and change. Freedom. I realised my wounds create doubt, resentment, and guilt, so I work to free myself of darkness. I cast off negative thoughts, find peace in my heart, and discover the being of light within me. Now, I feel like that is like very like, look at that, it's like a direct connection to the divine. It's giving self-empowerment, but there's elements of purple, which is the crown chakra as well. That's so cool. You need to feel safe, you need to feel secure, you need to feel loved, attractive, confident, and the universe will bring all this to you. Follow your internal guidance. Know that you are directly connected to source, okay? Manifest the life that you want. Say out loud, angels, please bring me someone who's trustworthy. Please bring me someone who's devoted to me. Please bring me someone who's hardworking, who's loyal, patient. You know, give any values that you want this person to have. And in about a year, the divine bring them in. They've got to align so many things. Workplaces, places of residence, you know, things that are going on in the world, people's health. There's so many things going on. So it has to take about 12 months to come in, but you start thinking about who you do want in your life. What qualities do you want them to have? Okay. I feel like I need to do one more, and then I'm going to get my lights, the solar lights, because we're losing light rapidly. Soul on fire. Sagittarius got this one. You need to live your best life. Enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. Set yourself free from this person because they do not know what they're doing. Befriend the world. Polarize. Okay, so you might find that instead of going for this location, you go west or you go east, you go left or you go right, but you need to, you know, like it's like if you get a chocolate box and you think, well, I always have the hazelnut praline, so I'll go for the hazelnut praline, or I always go for the strawberry cream, so I'll go for the strawberry cream, or I always go for the coffee, you know, flavoured chocolate, or the coffee mousse. Stop going for the same thing. Explore what's out there. Really challenge yourself to open up to different kinds of people and different kinds of things and activities and places. Shake it up, okay? Don't get distracted with shiny things, because retail therapy is dangerous for your bank account. However, the stuff will arrive, you know, and it will let you down the way that people do. I'm a shopaholic. But I think shiny things includes people who look nice on the outside. They look sexy, they look handsome, they look pretty. They can be a wolf in sheep's clothing, okay? They can be the devil, you know, dressed in a really nice, pretty outfit, or, you know, they can go and like sleep with someone behind your back, or make you feel like you're not worth anything by devaluing you, by not making space for you, by not, you know, giving you the attention that you require. Often what we need to do is imagine that person who's very good looking with boils and a few straggles of hair, you know, terrible skin. I don't know. Try to see them in a different outer shell, and their kind of aura is much more visible to you. The, you know, the real aura that they've got, the real character. Don't get distracted by, you know, people and only pick them based off what they look like, okay? Maybe that's a hint to, you know, this person being very good looking, the one that's taking you grossly, you know, for granted. I don't think I took one of these. No, I did. Okay, that's you done. That's all you're getting. Get yourself out there, right? Plenty more fish in the sea. Bigger, better ones. More interesting ones, more loyal ones. Ones that are going to take you on all their adventures with them and invest in you and, you know, dote over you, make you nice romantic meals, dress up for you, only you. Get that soul ignited, right? Cross some things off the bucket list. Don't live for, you know, 5 years' time or 10 years' time. Start living your life now. Life's too short to be waiting on people who, you know, are blindfolded and they've got the blinkers on and they've got no idea what they're doing. I mean, when people are like that, there's normally issues that are deep, but you can't, it's not your job to fix that or put up with it. It just isn't. And we're not going to be anyone's comfort blanket. We're not doing it. You know, that is just being dishonest with yourself, that. It makes no sense, does it? It's just like, what are you actually doing? I feel so good, you know, from having had like a quiet weekend. I loved being away, like I couldn't have been more hyper, but I knew I'd be tired, and it did stop me from thinking about work and all my worries, you know. Going away does force you to do that, but how have I lost like a whole set of cards over here? It's been proper nice just to not go anywhere or do anything, just self-indulgence, pampering, calm, quiet. Right, I'm going to run and get these 2 lanterns. I will be back to do Aquarius. Right, that'll come on. In fact, I'll put the one down now. Oh, cute. Right, I'll just type. Can I type in the chat? No. How do I type in the chat? I don't think I can I? I'm back in 5 minutes. I'm just going to the bathroom. Can someone, if anyone comes in, if anyone's in the chat, can you type, she's back in 5 minutes. I'm just running to the bathroom. Right, I'm back. Oh, okay. On to Aquarius. Thank you for the likes. Much appreciated. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Aquarius's highest good. How is Aquarius feeling in the second week of May 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? So if you're a regular watcher, you'll know this, but I do a 9-card spread. It's 3 cards for how you're feeling, 3 cards for how your person's feeling, and 3 cards for the outcome. I'll clarify why they feel the way that they feel. I'll get messages from them and I'll get you some advice from Spirit. 3 cards for how you're feeling then, first of all. Nine of Cups upright. You're feeling good at the moment. You're feeling good, Aquarius. 9 of Cups is I'm feeling content within myself as an individual person. I feel satiated, I feel satisfied, I feel content, okay? 9 of Cups upright is a nice card to get. Eight of Wands reversed is delayed communication, delayed action, delayed progress. The Two of Wands is a decision that needs to be made. Am I going to go in this direction or am I going to go in that direction, A or B? Because these are new adventures that you could go on, and one could be that way and one could be that way. It's a choice that needs to be made. It could be 2 people, 2 places, 2 different careers, you know, stay or go. Right, let's see for the one that's on your mind, the one that you're dealing with, or the one that you're manifesting in. You're showing up as a single energy, to be honest, with the 9 of Cups. And you're not showing up as a king or a queen, so you're not even showing up as dating anyone. Let's see. So the one that's in your reading is they know what they want. They've made a decision with the 3 of Wands. However, they're not taking any action. They're not making it happen. So I wonder if that's the delayed progress that you've got or something like this. I don't know. Or it could be totally separate. The Hanged Man reversed, so it's a stubborn energy. The Hanged Man, when he's upright, is suspending himself in order to get a different view, a different perspective on things, to see things in another way so that they can be clear that they're making the right decision or taking the right approach, that they've considered all, you know, advice. This is like, I'm only going to see it from my perspective. It's very stubborn energy. Then we've got the 7 of Cups. Someone's at a crossroads, okay? The 7 of Cups is, I don't know where I'm going next. I have all these options, okay? Some of these cups have good things in, some of them have bad things in. It doesn't have to be different people, but in a love reading, it's just they're at a crossroads. They don't know where they're going next, okay? They haven't decided. Hence why they haven't taken any action. But they're very stubborn about something. King of Cups reversed, lack of empathy. Totally closed off, blocked heart chakra. Or they could be over emotional, because now we've got the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups is 2 people that feel the same about one another. 8 of Cups reversed, they don't want an ending. This person reckons that the 2 of you are in love. So where part of them is logically saying, I should be making a decision about where I'm going next. They're being really stubborn and they're like, but I know there's something in this and I'm not going to walk away from it. So they know they should probably walk away, but they're not, because they don't want to. They don't want to walk away. They don't want it to be over. Okay. But they're not taking action either. Does that make sense? They're not going to be the ones to come to you. They're just stuck. They're all like, you know, they've got this profound kind of like intuitive vibe that the two of you have fallen in love. They know they should probably walk away logically, but they're not thinking in a logical way. They're thinking with their heart. Could be someone from the past that you didn't end up having a full-blown relationship with. You know, that you dated or sneaky linked with when you weren't available, and they're not over you. The Seven of Swords reversed, the Knight of Wands. Jesus, this is coming up every reading. Ten of Pentacles reversed. Four of Swords. King of Pentacles. King of Wands. What is going on? What is going on here? Why have we got two kings? King of Pentacles is earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. King of Wands is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's talk about each one. The Seven of Swords upright is lying, cheating, stealing. It's going behind someone's back in a strategic, premeditated way. The Knight of Wands is a very sexual energy. It's, you know, sex acts, sexual thoughts, passionate encounters. Ten of Pentacles reversed. Ten of Pentacles upright is lasting generational wealth that comes from two people being married or, you know, cohabiting, putting two livelihoods together to have money for their children, money for their children's children, to pay, you know, for care for parents. You know, there's pets, there's whatever, you know, it's lasting generational wealth. You tend to only achieve that when you are solidly with another person for many years, you know, decades. That's reversed, so that's being lost. Due to this, probably, this being exposed has caused an ending. We need respite because it's exhausting as a situation. Now that this has been exposed, it's, you know, draining. King of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They're very generous. They're good at making money. They like to spend on other people, quite material, you know, driven. Like, they like the reward that they get from hard work. They like to spoil people. It's their love language is to buy things for people as well as themselves. The King of Wands reversed. The King of Wands upright is fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. They're goal orientated, they enjoy success, they're highly driven. You know, that's their reward, is building up through the ranks, rising through the ranks. You know, stuff's okay, but they like the prestige of winning. They like victory, they like success, they like how they look, you know, from those achievements. So there's quite an ego there. With it being reversed, their ego could have been knocked by this situation. You know, there's some cheating's been exposed here. So they could have been cheated on. Or they could feel guilty and it's knocked them off their game, you know, that this has come out. They could be overly lusting and therefore been tempted to cheat. Okay, so trying to work out who this is, to be honest, because we've got two kings. That's, what have we got here? We've got a King of Cups here. King of Cups reversed. Over emotional. They could be angry, lusty. We've got three kings on this side. This person's becoming an emperor. The only king we haven't got. They've got pentacles, they've got wands, they've got cups. What are we missing? Swords. King of Swords. The logical, intellectual side. You know, this person is not thinking with logic. This is a very passionate person. It's a very emotional person. They could have acted, you know, without intelligence, or they could have been manipulative with that King of Swords being missing. But it's someone very accomplished. They can be male or female. It's just that they're in their masculine energy in a very big way. Which means being more... They're not thinking about everyone else. They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about the greater good, the effect on the empire, the effect on them directly. Yeah? Yes, please, Dad. Let's get 3 for the outcome. You're showing up as single, content, but then there's blocks and delays, and then there's a choice that needs to be made. You're trying to make a choice, A or B. Now, we've got a secret or lack of clarity here in the outcome. We've got the Empress reversed, the Temperance, and the Nine of Swords reversed. Do you know what? The Empress reversed barely ever comes out. It's always upright. We've got the Major Arcana for Sagittarius. The Empress is Taurus and Libra energy. Why is there so many... The Nine of Swords reversed is, you know, when it's upright, it's burden, anxiety, unable to sleep, for worrying, for fear. That's being released. We've got Temperance, managing emotions really well now. But the Empress is not feeling abundant, not feeling attractive, not attracting love, not attracting... You know, her crown has fallen. She's in a space of lack because she's reversed. She's not emotionally burdened anymore, but she's confused. There's a lack of clarity, and maybe she feels like her ability to attract is gone, you know, when it comes to you. Because you're showing up as 9 of Cups, you look quite content where you are and how you are. And her job is to attract, it's not to chase, so she won't be chasing. The Empress attracts, she does not chase. Okay, she's all for queens. Yeah, please, Dad. Thank you. The Knight of Cups, Page of Wands reversed, 6 of Pentacles reversed, the 10 of Cups reversed, Ace of Cups upright, the Emperor, fuck. We've got a divine pair. I told you there was an Emperor here. We've got the Emperor and the Empress now. And both the Emperor and the Empress, I don't want to forget how these were, so let's keep them there. The Emperor and the Empress, right, are both in the reverse in the outcome. So these two are not at present feeling good, okay? They're both feeling unnoticed, unrecognised, unsuccessful with regards to this connection. Now, the Empress was in between the 9 of Swords and the Temperance. So she's really trying to manage her emotions and take control of her emotions and not be fearful, not be anxious. The Emperor the Emperor's in love and he wants to reach out to his Empress. The 10 of Cups is reversed. There's a lack of family happiness, that wider picture. People are unfulfilled. There's unequal give and take. We've got the Wheel of Fortune upright. The Page of Wands reversed. There's worry, there's fear, there's a lack of passion. But the Wheel of Fortune's upright. The 6 of Pentacles is reversed. There's been unequal give and take. Unhappiness, disunity, a lack of satisfaction. Ace of Cups, you know, total love. The Emperor reversed and the Knight of Cups. It's going into this like Romeo energy, like Romeo and Juliet, like I want to display how I feel. I want to present that to my person. I want my Empress to know how I feel about them. I want to travel towards them. Knights travel. And a Knight of Cups moves slowly and securely. He doesn't want to spill the water from that cup. He carries it very carefully because it's only for his Empress. The first divine. Do you know what I've not had today? And we're on number 11 out of the 12 zodiac signs. I've not had a matching suit. Never mind an Emperor and an Empress. Why are you showing up as single? So this is someone that you're not currently with. You're not married to this person, but you belong together. You're a divine pair. In the outcome, she's just trying to manage her emotions. There's a total lack of clarity, and then you're wanting to go towards it. You're not sure whether you should, but you feel to. You're very emotional about this Empress. Now, the Empress, they could be the Emperor, you know. They could be the Emperor, because on their side there was 3 kings, wasn't there? So if they're the Emperor, they want to go towards you and you're the Empress. You're trying to manage your emotions, you've got a lack of clarity, and that would make sense because you haven't made a decision yet. You're still foggy, you're still confused, you're trying to manage your emotions. That's creating blocks and delays. The Emperor is in love. The Emperor wants communication from you. They want to present their emotions to you. They're not taking action because you look happy without them. Shit, that's what it is. They don't want an ending. They're in love with you. They've fallen in love with you. Aquarius, if you've got an Emperor in your life, one with all 3 kings, and if they've recently leveled up and matured and they look, you know, to be taking life in a more strategic way, because that's what a King of Swords does, and that's the only king missing. You knew they were passionate, you knew they were emotional, you knew they were going to be making good money. But with the King of Swords, it's like, now you know they are an intelligent person, they are a strategic person. They want the 10 of Pentacles. They want the 10 of Pentacles with you. They want the 10 of Cups with you. They got the Wheel of Fortune upright, so they believe that the universe is going to create an opportunity for you guys to come together, and they're going to tell you that they're in love with you if that happens. Does that make sense? Because they got the Page of Wands reversed. I was like, why would you have that if you want to go towards someone? But they're not being foolish, they're not naive this time. A Page of Wands is naive. It's like someone at the beginning of a journey. They're not worried about anything, they're just excited. It's like me going to Amsterdam, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not worried about how hungover I'll be or if it rains. I'm just excited. I'm upbeat, I'm confident, you know, I'm ignorant to any problems that are going to come up. This person's not ignorant to stuff anymore. They're not childlike about stuff anymore. They're going slow, and they're carrying that cup slowly and carefully, biding their time, waiting for that moment to tell you. When the divine puts you in touch with each other, and they will do, because you are an Emperor and an Empress, the Wheel of Fortune is upright. So this person is feeling like some way, somehow, you two are going to be put in each other's path yet again. And they've got that cup of emotion, it never left. They're carrying it for you and for no one else. Okay. Why have they got the 3 of Wands reversed? Why aren't they taking action? God. Hoity-toity, champagne taste, beer budget, arrogant, pretentious. They've been having a wild time. Vicious circle, secret past, alone, all talk, other lovers, public image. They've been in their ego. Okay, they want to look like they've got it all together. They don't want to look upset. They're still single because they're getting involved with the wrong people. Okay, they splash the cash to help keep that veil going on, that everything's fine. We all do a bit of that, but skeletons in the closet, not telling the whole story. So they keep a lot of secrets, this person. Alone, you feel like you're in this situation all by yourself, but it won't be like this forever. They have periods of loneliness. You wouldn't know that from what they post, but they get lonely. All talk, silver-tongued devil, big flirt, no action, player. This person enjoys the art of seduction. They're very adept at it. They know how to get the opposite sex, okay, or the person of their choice. They know how to get them. It's just natural for them. They just know what to do. So this, you'll know who this is if they're really flirty, if they're a terrible flirt, or even if they're not outwardly flirty, but they're like coy or, you know, really overly shy face to face. They might be a wild one, you know, digitally. You might know what to say or what to show you to get you all worked up, right? Other loves, okay, so there may be someone that thinks a lot about people from their past. They could be quite possessive. They could be up in their feels about people from the past. They could engage in sex acts with, or acts of intimacy with people that, you know, they have that kind of sometimes you have the kind of relationship with people that you can pick them up, you know, and kind of get involved with them and then put them down. And they're quite happy with that, you know, like a mutual, what's the word? Like a mutual agreement, you know, like go-to people, people that you keep sort of, you'll always be a lover to them, you know, never in a relationship. And you know, I think at some point most people have been like that or have those people in their life, and they're quite loyal when they're in a relationship. They would never do that, you know, behind a person's back. Once they're in a relationship, they're very loyal, but they might have a number of people that they hook up with, you know, like throughout their life that they continuously go back to, because some people are like that. Some people have really good connections with others, or they're just really attracted to each other, and it just gives them that, you know, buzz or whatever. Public image, worried about appearances, can't relax, conceited. They care a lot about how they come across to others. They work hard at doing a lot of selfies, a lot of statuses, posting things. Not always about shallow stuff. There'll be stuff that's important as well, but they're doing the most to kind of come across a kind of way. It's all engineered, you know, it's not by accident. It's not by accident. I'm just jotting down what I've got for Sagittarius. Keep forgetting to write down. I'll watch them anyway, find the perfect line to put as the title. Capricorn. Right, we're an Aquarius. Sorry. Right. I'm back. This is loaded, all these cards, my goodness. So we've got a divine union that's going to come into play. Let's get a time in. When is the Emperor going to cross paths with the Empress? Did you see that? Did you see how that just somersaulted? That was so weird. Springtime. Things will unfold as they're meant to. Shit. Right, release all expectations. So, what the hell? This is divinely guided. It's giving me goosebumps. It's freaking me out a bit because it's just... We've got the Emperor and the Empress currently in separation. But we've got the Wheel of Fortune and we've got divine timing. Let's keep going. This could be in the next month. Yeah, so it's one that they're very present on social media. They know how to get you going. They're very good at getting whoever they want, you know, sexually. God, look at all this. What is all this about? Playful innocence, embrace a childish spirit where baby steps lead to joy, not seriousness. So this person, very youthful, very playful. They could be middle-aged, but they come across younger, more upbeat, more carefree. Okay, they might be young-spirited, young at heart. A bit cheeky. Soulful synergy, vulnerability weaves hearts in a dance of harmony, unity and flow. So you may have had a moment with this person that was very special. And they really opened up, and they rarely do that. They care a lot about what society thinks of them and different people, and they've got an ego. But with you, there was a moment where you really told each other what you want out of life, and you have the talk where you talk about everything. Your goals, your dreams, your deepest desires that you don't really just put on the table for anyone. Prickly defenses, barriers caused by past hurt block you. Be patient. So they have got their walls up, and some things really trigger this person to pull back. Deeper waters, step out of your comfort zone and explore new depths. They've got comfortable with superficial connections because it's preserved their heart for a while. Fogs bind, when paths are unclear and spirits froze, sometimes leaving brings light. So they've pulled back in order to get clarity, because that's helped them with other situations in the past. Tender attentions, with care and concern, approach gently, nurturing with soft, kind gestures. They're looking for someone to be gentle with them because they've been mistreated in a number of ways, okay? Legacies, rebirth, honour history's remains to restore and breathe life into forgotten tales. You've been involved with this person previously. There's a rebirth, it's divine, and you are divinely matched. You're an emperor and an empress. Temporary relief, distractions aren't a quick fix for deeper issues. So they do allow themselves to go after and get off with people who are superficially good looking, but they're a knob, or a bitch. They're just not worth this person's time. Okay, so they've got trust issues. They know when they get with these people that they're a loser. There's red flags and they do it anyway because it's why not? They probably had much deeper connections previously, and it's been so traumatic that they've just started having the shallow stuff. But it never makes you feel good in the end when people treat you really badly. It's not a good reflection of your self-worth. It's likely that at some point you've had the talk with this person and you've opened up to each other, you know, where you like, when you start dating someone, yeah, they're tired of the drama, they're tired of, sorry, I'll finish what I was saying. When you start dating and then you stay awake all night chatting and you just open up to each other because you feel safe with each other, and then it's like after that it kind of solidifies that bond, which is really lovely. And you move into relationship territory, being exclusive, you know, like you really see potential in this, like longevity in it. They're tired of the drama. They don't want pretty boys or pretty girls, or fuck boys or fuck girls. They don't want to be messed about, treated badly, put down, made to feel not good enough, ghosted. They don't want any of that drama anymore. They want to go legit, okay? And they want to do that with the Empress. They're the Emperor. I'm not talking about, you know, it being a man or a woman. I'm talking about divine, like energy, like being more in your masculine or more in your feminine at this point in time. Being more in control, assertive is masculine energy. Feminine energy is nurturing, okay, thinking about what's best for everyone else, individual people's needs, how are they feeling, what can I do for them. An Emperor is thinking about the greater good, what's right and wrong. You know, if some like falling as collateral damage, it's still the best thing for the empire overall. So they're not thinking about each individual person and nurturing them like that. Thinking about the big picture and being assertive and a bit more, what's the word, a bit more cut through. It's only slightly more, but more logical than emotional. But we all have both masculine and feminine energies. It's just we go more into one when we're put in a position where we need to do that. For example, if you were in a marriage and one of you was always the domineering one, the assertive one, the one that's like fiery, the one that takes control, the one that's outgoing, gregarious, social, controls the finances, then the other person, should that original person become incredibly unwell and be out of action for months, you know, they're forced to step up out of their nurturing feminine energy into being the leader, into bossing up, into dealing with what needs to be done. Not, you know, thinking about everyone's feelings, but just being assertive, being, you know, a bit more cut through. So we all take turns switching between, you know, if a man experiences extreme grief or loss, he would go extremely emotional, you know, and feel vulnerable, and may decide to be more nurturing towards the people around him instead of so businesslike. It's a more feminine energy coming out, but that might be for a few months and then they might rebalance. But we all have ebbs and flows, and you know, it's like yin and yang, isn't it? That's needed for complementary energy. We don't want to clash and both be in our masculine, and we don't want to, you know, have a world apart between us because we're both waiting for the other one. You know, we're in our feminine energy, both of us, and we're waiting for the other one to be decisive or take action. It complements, it works like that, you know what I mean? So it's just natural. Where was I up to? Right, I'm gonna get a confession. I self-sabotaged our connection. I love the way you carry yourself. This person admires you. They watch you whenever you're around. They could be, or could have been, in your immediate vicinity somehow if you work together. if you're part of the same club or group or society, if you have a strong presence online, they just love watching you. They could watch you all day, every day, and they would never get bored. If they've watched you, they'll replay watching you. You know, like a film reel. They've got like all the times that they've ever seen you, they replay it. Like a highlight reel. Right, being silly now. It's not my fault. That's that person. Right. Let's get messages from them. You are wrong. Right, so they have not taken action because they feel like you acting like you're fine without them is wrong. Okay, so they've gone a bit stubborn and pulled back. And they're like, well, I'm not doing anything. Being more selfish, they're mad. They're mad, okay? They're really angry that you're happy without them and that you've cut communication. So, Aquarius, if this resonates, then it's because you're quite pleasing yourself at the moment. You're not communicated, you've caused delays, you've pulled back, you've blocked this person, you refuse to give them a straight answer either where this is going. You know that they're pissed off with that. They're tired of drama, they want to go legit, they're in love, and they could watch you all day. And they're a bit of a wild one. They're very much in touch with their sexuality, they're confident. If they want someone, they'll go and get them. Like that, you know. You have so many choices and options, so they think that you're playing the field. They're really, really worried that you are unavailable, that you're seeing many different people or, you know, a person, and they're not on your radar. I forgot to use these, didn't I? Communicate, compromise, forgive, and work it out. That's what's necessary. They just want communication. But are they going to give it? Are you going to give it? Or is no one going to give it? Poor communication here. Camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past to make memories. I told you they've got a highlight reel. Every time they've ever seen you, they've been looking at photos of you. This person is not going to move on. They're not going anywhere. What's the nature of this connection? Wish. Someone you wished for is coming into your life. Someone you wished for is coming into your life. Oh my goodness me. You manifested this, Aquarius, okay? Or they manifested you. But you are divinely guided. In springtime, this is going to come back together somehow. And if you don't make a move and they don't make a move, the divine's going to do it. okay? Because this is something you two agreed to in the 5D. You agreed to have a soul tie, a soul bond, and it's to be played out. You're the Emperor and the Empress, and it's to be played out. Let's get you some advice. They're obsessed. They're like absolutely like wilding for you. Recharge. There's nothing like a walk on the beach to soothe your soul. Okay, so you may feel like all I can say is butt cheeks. You may feel like a bit drained, okay, and you just want to put your well-being first for a while. That's absolutely fine. You may enjoy to be in nature to sort of get rebalanced. Self-care, drowning doesn't always require water, so you could have got up in your head about this, or you know, gone around in circles, and that's why I just took a breather, took a breath. Do it again if you need to. Empathy, there's more beneath the surface, so don't think, you know, like this person's worried that you're happy without them. Don't think that they're fine just because they're posting pictures or they're talking about all the stuff that they're doing or they're getting on in work. This person has periods where they're lonely. This person has periods where they feel like they're being mistreated by, you know, the silly people that they're giving their time to, new players and whatnot. They're in love with you and they're waiting to express that to you. So sometimes we just need to make space in our heart for people who are still trying to find their way back to us, okay? Have empathy. Choose wisely, be discerning. You don't have to keep everything in your net. So it's your life, okay? You get to live it. The divine is going to put you in each other's path, but it's up to you what you do with your life, okay? No one can force you to be with anyone. A couple more advice cards. Advice for Aquarius, please. Manifestation of light. I see the beauty in me. I grow and develop my inner self in harmony with light and beauty. I free myself from negativity. My heart transforms, my intellect shines, and my inner light grows. Stress is, you know, such a killer for problem solving, for happiness, for your physical health. We don't function well when we go low vibrational and ruminate on stuff or get drained. You know, take care of yourself, have compassion for others, and you know, it's your life, you get to choose what happens, but there will be an opportunity here to rest, recharge, you know, heal your heart chakra, and then there'll be an opportunity to come back into contact with this person. I think the divine's going to make it happen. I mean, springtime is now, but it says things are going to unfold as they're meant to. So, you know, like, it's not because you're going to reach out to them or they're going to reach out to you. You're going to bump into each other because it's been orchestrated. You are magic. Wow. Didn't it say that you'd manifested this? Where did I read that? This. That's freaky how they're the same colour as well. You asked the universe to bring you and this person back together. and it's happening. Shit. Well, I hope you're happy with this reading, Aquarius. I hope it resonates for some people. I'm going to tidy up the cards and we're going to move on to Pisces. Please give me a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel. If you know of an Aquarius, if you think that you know someone who's going through this right now, please share it with it. I wonder what will come out for Pisces, because that was the first divine union that we've seen. The rest of it was very much, for the other signs, the other 10 signs, it was very much like, it's not working out and it's time to like walk away and all this like, you know, stuck, stagnant energy. People being a hot mess and all. We didn't get any suits. We didn't get any people who are of the same suit, like kings and queens of the same suit. That's normally prolific throughout all the zodiac signs, and we've just had none. So I don't know whether that's an astrological thing, like what's going on with astrology at the moment. Maybe it's to do with that. There seems to be a lot of separation at the moment. So much came out for this one as well, like every like deck that I pulled, like, oh, that's the wrong one. It was like loads of cards, loads of confessions, loads of advice, like loads of clarification, you know, like just unusual. Right, so we are moving on to Pisces. Oh, I forgot about my coffee. Getting tired now. I've done over 7 hours of tarot today. I'm getting absolutely spoiled. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Pisces' highest good. How is Pisces feeling in their second week of May 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for how Pisces is feeling, please. Right, so we've got the Knight of Swords and the Strength card. Now, the Strength is the major for Leo, okay? And it's in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot deck, there's an image of a lion, which is really muscular and brave, and you know, it's trying to be fierce, and there's a need to be restrained, and the woman is trying to hold him back. So it's about being emotionally strong, not, you know, it's not brains, it's not brawn, but it's like we're trying to control and tame ourselves, control that temper. But there's an urgent message to be delivered with the Knight of Swords. Ooh, who's got your goat? It doesn't have to be anger, it could be emotion like a need to control, you know, watery emotion. But if you think about Leo the lion, he's very fiery, he's fierce, you know. So I tend to think withhold anger. Whoops, oh for goodness sake. Page of Wands, but in combination with the Knight of Cups. No, I don't know whether that was, I think it was reversed, the Knight of Cups. I think you fancy someone, Pisces. There's an urgent message to be delivered, but we need to control ourselves. And then you've got the Knight of Cups reversed with the Page of Wands. So it's like you're really struggling to hold back because you feel like really into this person. Like the Knight of Cups is very Romeo, Juliet vibes. Like, I have to have this person, it can't be anyone else. You know, like you're proper whiling for them. It's very emotional. Like, Page of Wands is someone that's really eager for a new adventure. It's not a Knight of Wands, it's not sexual or sordid, it's Knight of Cups. Like, I really think I could fall for this person. You know, their wifey material, their husband material, like, I'm really into them. And you were, like, not doing it. The Swords of communication, and there's Knight of Swords, but then you're holding back, and then it's like, I want to show them how much I care about them, but I'm not going to, but I'm excited about this. Does that make sense? Pages are just at the start of a journey, so it's someone that you've just met. You're thrilled. If this hasn't happened, then it's probably going to happen next week or in the next few weeks. Could have already happened though. Oh my God. What kind of reading is this? It's just so lovely. Like, we've got the Four of Wands and we've got the Lovers. Okay, so it's the major for Gemini, but it's also a divine union. Two people, when this is upright, two people love each other. They're meant to be together. When it's reversed, it's unrequited love. One person loves, but the other doesn't. This is two people that are divinely guided, and there's going to be a beautiful marriage, home ownership, like a stable future together. That's what you desire anyway. You have gone from 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds. You like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, like you've skipped like 10 years ahead. You're like, oh my God, this is the one. This is the one. Yeah, you need to slow your row. You need to hold your horses, because you're gonna freak this person out. I mean, they might really love that, but I don't know how long you've known this person for. If you're a page, it's like, you're allowed to be excited. You're allowed to be excited, but I think you should wait a few weeks before you say it, you know? But that's lovely that you found that and you feel that way. No bad thing at all. very envious. Right, so for them, they've got the Four of Swords reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed. So if these were upright, I'd say they're resting because their finances are secure, they're feeling generous, they're abundant, they're responsible. This person is restless because finances are poor at the moment, and it could just be, this happens to all of us, but bills could have gone up, rent could have gone up. They may suddenly have more outgoings than what's coming in. It's like the pentacles are falling out of the wallet or the purse for some reason. Maybe that's what's making them really restless. It's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy on this side. Let's see what else comes out. Heartbreak. They could have recently split up with someone, and that's why. You know, they definitely had the heart broken. It hasn't worked out, and that maybe that's why, you know, they've lost money, because they've had to spend, you know, money on flights or new accommodation, Airbnb, you know, moved back in with parents, might have to get rid of the car. When you've had joint finances and you become single again, there's a period of readjustment, isn't there? Or they may have left a job or got made redundant and then the person's left them. I don't know which way around it is, but there's a strain on finances at the moment. And I mean, I've had people leave me, you know, and it's a jerk move, but they've left because I left a career, and then they were like, well, now we can't get a house, or now we can't do this or that, and they weren't prepared to wait. So they just swapped me for someone that did have the money to do that at the time. And it's like, yeah, it's a really like jerk move, but people make decisions like that because maybe their finances are dependent on, you know, this plan that they thought was coming together. But they shouldn't have counted the chickens before they were hatched. Do you know what I mean? Temperance reversed. So that's the major arcana for Sagittarius. They could be a Sagittarius. They don't have to be. What this shows me is they're very restless. They're very emotional. They're very angry, worried, pissed off. I think maybe that's telling me that someone's left them because work wasn't going well, or they recently left, you know, a well-paid job or course or something. So this person was like, oh yeah, we're going to be like in the money. They left it, told them, then the person bloody broke up with them. And it's really like thrown them into turmoil, and like they're really pissed off with the disloyalty. I know that's very specific, but it's like the narrative that's coming out. And I've had it happen to me. Ten of Wands. It's been a long cycle of trials and tribulations, and it's at the end. Three of Pentacles, lack of cooperation, lack of teamwork. The Magician reversed, feeling hopeless, feeling useless, feeling like you haven't got what you need, feeling like something's been really unfair and unjust. With the Justice reversed, this person left them. That's really triggered me because I've been in that situation. It really knocked my confidence. I thought I was unattractive. I thought I wasn't a good option. I thought I wasn't someone to be with. It really knocked my confidence, and it pisses me off if that happens to this person, because I was young, and it affects like how you view yourself and like whether you think you're good enough. In reality, that person doesn't deserve you. You know, if people are trying to pressure you into stuff, financial, like stuff like mortgages, when you're not ready, they try to pressure you into staying in a career that you don't want to stay in. because it suits them. It's because they're under pressure financially. It's not because it's the right thing for you. So, you know, if it's not your mortgage to pay, if you didn't sign on the dotted line, or they've got a gambling problem, or they've got addiction, or they've got, you know, blood-sucking, like, relatives that are, like, operating them. No, they don't get your money, and no, you're not going to stay in a career you don't want to be in. I know you're not going to get on a mortgage to save them from whatever situation they signed up for. You know, they're not thinking about you. They're not giving you time to grow. As a young person, if they're kind of rushing headfirst into serious commitment like that, that's their fault. You know, so let them do what they're doing. But they can do it without you. And it'll be horrible. It'll make you feel like shit, but trust me, you're better off without them. They're on a different time frame to you, and they'll see you as the loser, and they'll call you that, but it doesn't mean they're going off to abundance. You know, they're creating more problems for themselves. And it's like when someone bites off more than they can chew, and then they're just too arrogant or egotistical to admit it. So they're just like, it's your fault, it's your fault. No, it's your mortgage, mate. Right, sorry, just been triggered there. Six of Cups. Six of Cups in the challenge. Yeah, a soul connection that's hanging in the balance. Did they love me? Did they not? Was it real? Was it not? How could they do this to me? Was I special to them? Well, this person is going to come in for you, Pisces. They're not being treated right where they are. They're being pressured to do things they're not ready for. When they're down on the luck, this person's left them. And it's just not cool. That's totally disloyal, actually. So they're going to be very upset and very guarded for a while because they feel that this was really disloyal, really unjust, unfair. You know, they thought they were in a ride or die connection where there's just unconditional love, where cups have been built up, trust is being built up. It's totally thrown them through a loop, this. And they're just really like, you know, like when the rug's pulled from beneath you, it's just really like thrown them, really jolted them, and their sense of like, you don't trust yourself when you've put your heart in someone's hands and that person's made you think that you can rely on them and you'll always be together and there's no one else and it's always going to be the two of you like a team, and then they just flip on you and change on you just like that, and it's decided, it's a done, it's already like they're already over it. It's like, what the flop is going on? And you're just like, who are you? Like, if things don't make sense and someone just randomly ends it, it's because there's more in the picture than what you've been shown. There's more going on that you've been told about. Okay, they've got secrets, they've got death, they've got something, a criminal conviction, or they've got some kind of addiction, or they're being operated by someone. If someone just flips on you and randomly disappears, there's more going on than what you know about. It's probably best that you don't know, to be honest. It'll piss you off, it'll confuse you, but you can stay back in your normal life, do you know what I mean? And they can keep being a weirdo. Six of Wands reversed, so a lack of recognition, feeling unappreciated, feeling unsuccessful, feeling like a big fat failure. Not nice, okay? That's how this situation has made you feel. You feel let down, you feel cheated out of a love situation. You weren't supposed to be starting over again. Sorry, I'm saying you, but this is your person, the one that's coming in the future. They've been let down by their person. It was unjust, it was unfair. You know, they may have got like a reduction in pay or not kind of found themselves going up the ladder as quickly as they would have liked, and they've been dumped for it, basically. So they're going to be really depressed, really low, you know, have problems with confidence and self-esteem for a while. But they're just not meant to be with this person. And you're looking for loyalty, love, stability, and this person's going to come in for you. They're actually a King of Pentacles. So when things are going well, they're very generous. Their love language is to gift people. They're usually really responsible with money. They could just be young, you know, and they haven't got to a situation where they're actually earning enough money to sort of have a slush fund or have savings. When you're in your 20s, it's like impossible to have savings, but as they get older, they'll get better and better at this. They'll be like the best at it. And particularly when you've been left for a financial reason and you get like pure issues and hang-ups over it, and then you go, right, I'm gonna like level up now. And you put it into, you transmute it into positive action, decisive action, divisive action, and you become the best at money. You become, you know, someone who continues to be generous, someone who rewards themselves, who spoils other people, earns great money, has savings. Like, they're going to become the best because of this. So there's someone to be with. I'm not saying you're getting a dud, but they feel bitter about what's happened. They feel let down. They feel frightened to trust. Let's do some digging and see what's gone on here. I think they're coming in for you, but don't think this is you and them. I think they've been let down by someone. Someone who's impatient, that doesn't want to, you know, grow with them. They want them to be ready now. And they're not. Told you, they've been burned. They're afraid to love again, unhealed. You know, they may like run away from anything serious if you try to get serious with them really quickly. They might just be like, I can't, I don't want that right now. They need some healing time, okay? Up in the air, not able to make solid plans, flighty, ungrounded. Just keep getting let down by people. It's not nice. Imagine your worst insecurities being used as a reason not to be with you by the person you love and trust. Like, you're shit with money, you know, you're taking too long, you're not good enough. Like, in reality, that other person has got some kind of like urgent need for money, haven't they? They've got themselves into something, they've bitten off more than they can chew, but they're projecting it onto this person who's probably just younger or needs a bit longer to figure out the career. You know, maybe they'll never make amazing money in what they do, but it's a good job. It's like a vocation, or it's something humanitarian. They help people. Don't have to be a millionaire, but the values could be different to what the other person's are, or the other person might not be able to afford to wait because they've made some sort of financial commitment, like to a bank or to relatives, and they've got to return the favour. They've got to get that money back. That's on them, but they're going to project it onto this person out of ego. Anyway, they've definitely been burned and they're broken-hearted. It's going to take a while for them to move on. They just don't feel like they've got their feet on solid ground. Like, they don't trust anyone like who's, you know, potential relationship material now. They don't know who to trust. Hidden thorns. Look beyond the romance to discern true intentions. They got romanced by this person, you know, like traditional, like roses, champagne, lovely romantic dates, you know, getting collected in the car. But when push came to shove, this person bailed on them, right? They weren't there for sickness and in health, like, you know, for redundancy or having a change of career and having a bit of a panic or a wobble about it. They've just fucked off, haven't they? So they're not as loyal as what they made out. Shadowed waters, beware illusions that skim the surface, for true understanding lies in the deep. They got someone doing like a 180 on them. Or a 360. Still can't decide which one of those is right. I need a maths teacher to explain that to me. Because if you're doing a 180, you're just going in a straight line, aren't you? Are you not? I'd say a 360 because they're going back on what they originally said. Do you know what I mean? Tell me what you think about that. Right, shut up, Jenny. Have I just contradicted myself? I feel like I have. No, 180 you're going in a straight line, 360 you're going back on yourself. I think I'm right. But then I'm Taurus, so you can't persuade me of stuff easily. Ooh, watching shit go down, enjoying the gossip. What the hell? It's all popping off. They may be really, you know, like when you have your heart broken by someone you thought you were going to share the rest of your life with, you feel betrayed by them. You need to kind of know what's going on with them. You know, you're really fighting that urge to go and like try to convince them to change their mind. Other people feel, you know, like they want to be a busybody and tell you what's going on with them. Are they seeing anyone? You kind of want the information because you want to know if they've moved on yet, and you're glad when you hear that they haven't. If they start to unravel, you're kind of pleased about it. If they start seeing someone else, it breaks your heart. So it's like, I think this person's just like keeping tabs on this ex at the moment. Probably bitter, but at the same time, you know, you get so bitter and angry because you hurt, you know, you feel like you were wronged. Let's get a confession. We don't need confession because this is someone else's narrative with a different person. It's not yours. So I'm not going to do confession. It wouldn't make sense. I'm not going to do messages. This is someone that's coming in for you in the future, Pisces. So I'm going to get a time in. Surely it's going to be a while then until this is ready. Like, I'm just going to say 6 months to a year. Because they're pretty messed up off that. I wouldn't be ready. I wouldn't be ready in a few months to be in a serious thing. Release all expectations. I think it's going to be like, realistically, 6 months to a year when this person comes in. But you're manifesting them. Is there anything else that you can get for like what went on with them? They're too caught up in like, you know, they're really bitter about this person. They've not detached from it. They're not numb over it. They're full of feeling and emotion. So you don't want someone when they're like unhinged, pissed off at someone, or like, you know, resentful. You don't want someone who's like untrusting. You don't want their issues. You want them to heal and then come in. Yeah, they thought that they were going to get married to this person. They were expecting engagement, but this person was a narcissist, or they were being operated by a narcissist, okay? It won't feel like this at the time, but in years to come, they'll realise someone was watching over them. Someone was watching over this person and they didn't allow it. A loved one that's passed away, who's now in the 5D, is not allowing this person to be in a dysfunctional situation. They're not allowing it. Somehow there was dysfunction, there was a narcissist involved. In my situation, it was his parent that was a narcissist. He wasn't, but he was just blind to her. She was completely operating him. Okay, so financially manipulating things, controlling finances, controlling emotions, very emotionally abusive and financially abusive as well. They did intend to marry the person, but it's all gone tits up, and it's actually like a blessing in disguise, but no one ever sees it like that at the time. They just don't, and it's not supposed to be seen like that at the time. They need time to heal, okay? I'm gonna give it about a year, to be honest, because that's if you look at what they had coming out, they feel like absolutely done. They're just fried off this, you know, lack of cooperation. They feel useless, they feel hopeless, they feel like this is really unfair, really unjust. There's a lot of resentment. They feel like they're not good enough now. They don't believe in love. That's how I felt. I felt like, well, if I can't trust this person, I wouldn't know who to trust. Because they were so good at the romance, and they were fair with money, and they were, you know, a very like confident person. It made me feel more confident, and they encouraged me every step of the way to think, I'm not going anywhere. You're the only one I want to be with. I've got all these plans like for the future. And it wasn't love bombing, but I just think that whilst it was what the narcissist wanted, it happened that way. And then when it no longer fit, because I left my job, it no longer fit the plan of the narcissist. He was operating him, so she decided I wasn't in favour anymore then. And, you know, fed him the idea that he was going to move to another country and marry someone else. So, and all he ever wanted was his mother's recognition, acceptance, approval, love. It was, that's what pissed me off the most, to be honest, was the injustice, was that, because I could see it happening. I could see that happening, and he couldn't see it at all. Just weird. Well, that's a lifetime of being treated badly, you know. That's your blueprint for life, so you don't know any different, right? I'm not going to get messages because they don't know about you yet. This person is orchestrating a beautiful match in you to them because they deserve better. Anything else about what went down here, please? The runner. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. I don't think the person is a runner. I think their person could be a runner. You know, they dangle commitment and then take it away. Or this person's become a runner because You know, the fear of like being let down again. I'm just having another look at these. I mean, God, you know, if you realise like you can't trust anyone, you would get commitment issues off that. Let's get advice. We've got time in. Just dropped a card. If this is resonating for Pisces and they're not currently with anyone. Actually, no, I said, yeah, you're not with anyone, but you got like a crush on someone and you don't feel like you should tell them how you feel about them. But you really, really want stability. You really want the Four of Wands, which is marriage, you know, a house together. You want to be exclusive. You want commitment. You want a divine union where you are together forever. You're really tempering yourself and holding yourself back. Maybe you're aware of, you know, it's like when you've started to be in the company of someone and they're going on about the ex, the crazy ex, the toxic ex, or how their ex did them over. And you're just like, wow, they're so not over that. I can totally see potential with them, but they're just not in a place to be dating because they're just obsessed with like stalking the ex and seeing things go, you know, badly for them. They want things to go badly for them. You know, they can't stand them. They're really hurt. They're really bitter. You know, they're in a bad way emotionally. Sometimes you just think it's so not the right time to be like telling them that I like them. So that makes sense why it said release all expectations. So what is your advice about this person? Travel. Seeing the surface of the ocean is not the same as diving deep to see the coral. Be careful, Pisces, that you haven't crushed on someone based off what they look like and you haven't got these ideals in your head about what the personality is like. If you don't know them that well, maybe get to know them better, you know, or find out more about what went on. They're saying wait, okay, and find out more so that you can judge this person's character in the main right and not see them as like a delicious, you know, fragile wallflower or just a really sweet guy that just got totally like used. Because there's two sides to every story. However, I do think that someone was being operated by a narcissist and it probably was really unjust what happened. They got done out of commitment by someone that was actually probably in love with them. But make sure you're not just wiling off someone because of what they look like and you think that you would look nice together. I don't know why it's giving me that, but it's just saying find out more. Take the time to get to know this person. Maybe you need to, you know, date for a while and explore what you want and make sure that, you know, this is the person that you want. Because they're not going to be available for a bit, like another year or something. Not emotionally. You don't want someone who's like just constantly going on about their ex. Like, that's never good. goodness. I refine my character and overcome difficulties by remaining positive. I calm my heart and illuminate my intellect to transform shadow into light. I consciously manifest goodness in and around me. I improve my qualities for the benefit of all. So instead of feeling possessive over this person, we can hold a space in our heart for them. And we can say, do you know what? You've been through it. You're blinded, you've got your blinkers on, you know, you think the sun shines out that person's arse, you're really upset over them, you're going to be distressed over them for quite a long time yet. And that's your prerogative, your feelings. You know, people's feelings are valid. If they've been really devoted to someone, if they trusted them and they've been let down, their feelings are valid. They're allowed to be upset. They're allowed to need time to heal. And they're allowed to be in pain. You know, we can't rush other people's healing. We have to have unconditional love for them. We have to hold a space in our hearts for people who are not ready for our love. And we have to, you know, potentially like understand that we may not get this person. We may not get them. By the time they're healed, we could be with someone else, or they could meet someone else, or it's not meant to be. But if you want the best for them, that is putting yourself in a really positive, high vibrational light, you know, and you can ask the universe for someone with their qualities, and you may get this person. You may get this person, but you may not. But to have an open heart space and not hold a grudge, not be resentful, to have unconditional love, to want the best for them, that's a really high vibrational place to be. Someone from my friend group, from the group of friends when this happened to me, he liked me, and I know that he's a really good guy, and I know that he'd be like a solid option, but I don't want anyone connected to that person because it makes me feel like I'm back in that time of my life. I don't want to go backwards. I want to move forwards. There's billions of people in the world, you know, 9.5 billion people in the world. I don't need to go to the same friend group from 20 years ago and get with someone that was best mates with that person. I don't need to do that. And I'm not saying that person isn't good enough, but sometimes you just want to move forwards, and you do that by moving to different countries, moving into different careers, different workplaces, meeting new friends, getting fresh souls, fresh energy for the person that you are in your life now, 20 years on. I'm not the person that I was back then, so maybe he's remembering what I was like and thinks that we would work together, but I can't go backwards, do you know what I mean? And it's not because I think that person isn't good enough, but anything connected to that is too painful to access. It feels immature, like I'm going backwards. So, look at this. This is beautiful. In tarot, water is love, isn't it? Water's emotions, cups are full of water. And we've got the heart space here. Creator and water. It's about loving people unconditionally. Sometimes you can recognize the value in someone and still let them go. Even if you're like a friend of a friend or a mutual friend and you think this person's worth so much, you might not get to have them. You might not get to be the one that makes them feel special. It might be someone else, but at least you know that they finally got what they deserve, you know, and they've got a beautiful connection, and you're happy to see them happy, even if it's not with you. I really like these cards. I think that's beautiful energy. It's what's best for all, isn't it, that's important. I feel sorry for the person being operated by a narc. That's the person you should feel most sorry for, because they're stuck. everyone else will move on. You'll find someone, Pisces. This person will find someone. Hopefully they find someone, but we just got to live and let live, okay? It's a big, beautiful world out there. Loads of people to date, loads of people to explore. Different ways of living, different ways of being, different levels of success, different cultures, different styles. We don't need to go backwards. All right, we have reached the end. Take care. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonates for some people out there. Please give me a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, and I'll see you in the next one. I will be separating the lives up into individual readings, okay, for each of the zodiac signs as well, because I think it catches more people that way. But if you joined me for the live, thank you. Or if you catch the live, thank you. Have a good rest of your evening, guys, and have a good week next week.